Limerence, an intense, obsessive connection that feels like love but exists mostly in the mind. You might be experiencing it right now, or maybe your partner is. But why does limerence happen to some people and not others? Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of limerence and its deep connection to attachment theory. Limerence is defined by a strong bond towards a limerent object, lo, accompanied by intrusive thoughts that make you feel like you're living in a fantasy. But what if I told you that this intense experience is closely linked to how you were raised and the attachment style you developed early in life? The basics of attachment theory. Attachment theory explains how the bonds we form in early childhood with our caregivers influence our relationships as adults. Psychologist John Bowlby, who first defined attachment theory, described it as a lasting psychological connectedness between human beings. He was particularly interested in why children experience anxiety when separated from their primary caregivers. The way a caregiver interacts with a child shapes that child's attachment style. If caregivers are responsive and available, the child is likely to develop a secure attachment, feeling safe to explore the world. But if the caregivers are neglectful or inconsistent, the child may develop an insecure attachment, either anxious or avoidant. There are three main types of attachment styles: secure, anxious-insecure, and avoidant-insecure. People with secure attachment are confident in themselves and can create stable, long-lasting relationships. They learned early on that their needs would be met by their caregivers, so they feel safe expressing emotions openly. On the other hand, those with avoidant insecure attachment shut down emotionally and avoid depending on anyone. They take pride in their independence, often because they had caregivers who were abusive or neglectful, teaching them that relying on others is dangerous. And then there's the anxious insecure attachment style. People with this style constantly seek reassurance from their partners, often due to inconsistent or unresponsive caregiving in childhood. They learned that their caregiver, and later, their partners, might abandon them, creating a deep-seated fear of rejection. The connection between limerence and attachment styles. So, what's the connection between attachment styles and limerence? Limerence is like an intensified crush, but it's more than that. It's a distraction from reality. The mind creates a fantasy about what life could be, instead of living in the present. Limerence is especially common in those with an anxious attachment style. Why? Because people with this attachment style are preoccupied with the other person, constantly seeking emotional reciprocity to secure love. Just like a child longing for their caregiver, someone experiencing limerence craves their love's affection and validation, often creating a fantasy bond instead of a balanced, supportive relationship. Low self-esteem often underlies this attachment style, making it harder to break free from limerence. When you don't know yourself well, it's difficult to address the real issues. Limerence isn't about the LO, it's about filling a void, often rooted in trauma, that you're trying to satisfy by reaching outside yourself. Steps to overcome limerence. If you're experiencing limerence, the first step is to get to know yourself better. The more you understand your desires, dreams, and motivations, the more control you'll have over your life. Ask yourself, what needs am I trying to meet through limerence? What can I do to meet those needs for myself? Challenge your limiting beliefs and focus on your growth. Remember, the low isn't the issue. They can be easily replaced by another LO. Instead, address the void within yourself and work on filling it in healthier ways. The role of self-awareness and adaptability. Understanding your attachment style is crucial, not only to identify why you might be experiencing limerence but also to learn how to respond to it. The more self-aware you become, the easier it will be to take a step back, detach from the situation, and let go of the low. Remember, humans are complex, and your attachment style isn't set in stone. It can change over time and vary depending on the relationship. In the end, limerence is more about being addicted to the idea of love than actually loving someone. If you're struggling with limerence or trying to understand your attachment style better, I invite you to join my relationship coaching session. Together, we'll explore your attachment style, work on building self-awareness, and develop strategies to help you break free from limerence and create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Click the link below to sign up, and take the first step towards a more self-aware and empowered life. Let's work together to transform your relationship with yourself and others.